Here we go, we are live for the first round with Dignitas on attack. B is the usual site, it is Crossfire. I have no idea how this is going to go without Luxor in the team for Dignitas. He's normally the man that rushes. Fantasy, I assume, is going to take up that role, but he's just not got that innate aggression that Luxor had. Luxor is watching his stream. He's saying Socklon's no player without his brother. And at the moment, Raz is the man that's pushing forward. Diablo going down. I expected Diablo to go aggressive. Revolt's taking down Raz in reply. Bomb going down very quickly there from Dignitas. Getting it straight in. Lots of wall banging going on. Following Revolt as he does not make his way up the stairs. He's got Lighters to the side. Lighters has been the best player and reason by far so far this tournament. And at the moment, dashing around the side. Manages to find Enrio. Jermaine taking down Duffer in reply. Just to the side. Robbie rattles off that shot. With a second on Socklon on the bus. Didn't have a ticket. Timmy Denton revolts. Whatever you want to call himself. He is the last man standing and he's in all sorts of trouble. Takes down Fantasy during the car. He's only got 9 seconds. He's not going to happen. Not going to get the defuse. Doesn't matter. Robbie there picks up his third frag of the round. Why didn't I just look at that? I don't know. But that was a big round from Robbie. Robbie had a huge round earlier on Strike a moment ago. Through the smoke, picking off 2 and then defusing. Very nice played. But at the moment, I think it's looking good.
Yeah, they pick up the first round here on Crossfire. The greatest map in Call of Duty 4 history.
Yes.
Just because it's me. As Fantasy lines up the bang bus. Nobody at the back of it. Now we'll have Enwio making his way to try and get that plant down. Doesn't happen for him because Diablo's there waiting with his SMG. Now Diablo looks for a second one. Can see the gunfire. All Diablo needs to do is just keep an eye on that bomb. Just needs to know when someone's coming for it. Doesn't need to do anything special. Without the bomb, they can't do anything. Lighters lies in wait. Reason still with 5 men up against Dignitas' 3. They're looking for something in the game. As I can tell you that George has just been physically assaulted by Kleineman off the off screen. But here we go. Rob's trying to get to that bomb. Diablo is just down to the right of him. Big D is going to get himself a frag or 2. Big G, sorry. As Diablo and Revolt's both down, we're on 3-on-3 here. As Robbie will get the plant down and in. Duffer's going to try and save the day, but Big G's got himself his 3rd frag as Jermaine is on fire. As Socklon isn't going to be able to do anything about it. And we're in a 2-on-2 with 30 seconds left on the bomb. Duffer makes it a 2 versus 1. Who is that one? It is, of course, Rob, as he makes his way towards the top. He does have his scope. They don't know where he is. They do now. And Rob's got to have to sit tight, and this next shot has got to connect. And it does. Down goes Socklon, and the next man's about to follow suit if Rob has his way! And he does! A hat trick from Rob, gets himself 3 frags, and Dignitas turn a 3-on-5 round to a 1-on-2 round victory.
Amazing stuff. Robbie has been fantastic so far this tournament. The rest of his team, and like Duffer said, Robbie doesn't play, Dignitas don't play. Unfortunately for them, Robbie is playing, and he is playing fantastic. He has pulled off some amazing shots.
Home advantage.
The home advantage of Holland. Well, he wasn't playing in the group stage, just didn't turn up, but suddenly now, as is always the case, you know, Dignitas in the group stage, very ropey when it counts. Hit the ground running. Socklon downs Robbie though. And Reason suddenly turning the screws. Can they pick up their first round on Crossfire? The defensive round. Fantasy is the last man standing, 3-on-1. I wouldn't put it past him to turn this around, you know. Takes 1. Oh, didn't quite get the second. Socklon peeking down street. Trying to pretend like he's PHP from Reason.
You're on Quad V live from the Crossfire Intel Challenge 7. Brought to you, of course, by Intel in association with Blockbuster and PCs provided by DreamHack. All available on quadv.com. Remember, you can pause and rewind the stream whenever you want. Diablo nades over the top. Already lost Socklon, though. Rob tries to make his way through, and Rio gets himself a shotgun frag onto Duffer. 4-on-3. As Jermaine who has gone relatively big in the rounds I've seen from him in this one. Gets himself the frag on lighters. And Rob is eyeing up the back of that site, but with no success. Diablo's down, and now it's all on Revolts. Let's find the man who is on his own. I said to him yesterday, it's time you clutch Revolts. I've never seen one in all these years. And he said he'll do it tonight. He promised, but he broke his promise to me.
He was just planning on a later round. Actually, he's been big. He's been very good in the group stages. Against Fnatic, he was played superbly.
The one thing Revolts will never be is big.
Or excited.
Now that's just a personal attack.
Well, we had him on the cast not so long ago. Diablo taking down Enrio. Diablo looking, grenade landing. Oh, grenade running at his feet there, manages to dodge it. Not Fantasy's bullets though. Raz taking down Doffer as well. It is a 3-on-3 Jermaine. Raz and Fantasy. Jermaine out the back, bomb loose. Revolt seeing another grenade land just in front of him. Fantasy downed Lighters. Lighters not really getting in his groove on so far. 3-1 to the attacking team of Dignitas. Remember, this is best of 3. Dignitas need to take this, and they will close it out in a quick 2 rounds, and then Reason Gaming will be out of the tournament. Going home early after topping the group against Fnatic. They won't be happy with that. Cyclone downs Fantasy. Jermaine picks up that bomb. It's 2-on-2. Shots from Cyclone ringing out in the ears. Volts in support. He's just keeping on that bomb. He's not really knowing that anyone's near it. He can hear them. It is the plant going in. Shot still coming in, not connecting.
Explosives planted.
And he's got it in without any problems, but Revolts was there. Last man standing. It is Raz. Oh, and he gets tagged from the side. That's going to be a defuse, and that is going to be an important round for a reason. If that had gone 4-1, I think the heads would drop. They're a confidence team. We've said this many times about the players that are in there. Certainly Diablo, very much a confidence player. When things go wrong, he rages, and the rest of the team sort of drop with him.
But I would say, as much as I love Dallo, Dallo's silent at the moment as well whilst I was back there. And he's the man that should be lighting the fires for them. As Dignitas all huddle around this area. 4 players trying to nade over from one position. Would have been a great spot for a nade as Jermaine gets himself onto Diablo. As we are at 3-2 with a 4-on-4 in this round as Lighters lines up. Rob gets himself the frag onto Soklon, and suddenly things open up. Lighters is in a tricky position here. Rob is looking for love as he makes his way down towards the street. Fires just a couple of shots trying to spam through, see if anyone's on the other side of that wall. Doesn't happen as Jermaine gets himself a frag before Duffer is down. Rob fires off as many shots as he possibly can and isn't going to come for him. And Rio gets himself one onto Duffer, and it's now Diablo, it's now Revolts or Bust. Gets himself the frag onto then Rio. Oh, filth. And buys himself the second. Can't connect on either the man shooting him or the man who's overcrossed. The bomb is down though, and he has that in his favor that neither of the attacking players have the bomb. Still looking for those frags, he's going to get one, and now has the bomb being planted by Fantasy. And Revolts tried to go shopping, but if you want a lemon, it's at the supermarket, and Revolts was in the wrong place.
Well, that's an interesting phrase. I don't think I've heard that before. That's the entertainment factor from top spot. Enemy territory been going all day. It's been good.
It has been. Because we didn't get any cast yesterday, it's kind of overcasted today. Got all the winner bracket down. We got 1 team in the final. So yeah, it's been
Light.
No, Dignitas, who are now Blight, who are now Dignitas,
Yeah.
got knocked out in the 4-0 in the winner bracket semis.
Right. Oh, Soklon with a shot onto Robbie there. Lighters down in Fantasy as well. That's a 5-on-3 advantage already. 3-on-3, sorry. I didn't notice the other two go down early. Plant going in from Enrio. Shot's not really raining in because he's busy. It is Raz down in Soklon on the side there. Jermaine getting tagged up through Ace Complex. Revolts. All sorts of problems. He's got people around the shopping area. Raz does manage to come through, and Rio downs him. It's 5-2. This is a big lead from Dignitas here on the attacking side. And you can tell how confident they are because they're talking, they're shouting. against Korgs. They did not talk until at least the 18th round. It was just silence.
They are, and in fact, I stood behind them at the end of that note. He was yelling at Jermaine to talk, to shout, to get involved. He seems to have identified for it. 3 big grenades. Oh, I would say it's raining men, but it isn't. It's the nades flying from the sky for Dignitas that are just as good. Fantasy finishes off the job with 2 big frags. They're making this look easy, and they know that the way to win against Reason, particularly if they're sat opposite you, is to go woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Because there's nothing like that to wind up Diablo.
Groove like a girl. Jermaine lining up the grenades. They landed well before. Reason 6-2 down here on Crossfire. Dignitas having an awesome attacking round. This is what they did. And an awesome defensive round. They went in 8-4 in the first half. Will they do better in Crossfire? Reason just not performed tonight. They had plenty of rest. They knew it was coming. Reason does land a grenade on Enrio. Dignitas are 2 men down at the moment. Cyclone seeing if he can find Robbie. There was one, he missed him. Missed the second as well. Tricky shots as well, but he's not going to get a 3rd chance, I don't believe. Robbie is actually with an AK out in the backside of Melon Room. Duffer's more likely to see him more than anything. Fantasy tosses out the smoke. Bomb plant probably going to come in from Robbie here. He's got company though. Just straight below. He knows exactly where he is. He's not going to push. He's not going to rush. He's going to go for the bomb plant instead. Jump on the bus. Duffer coming round. Just got a glimpse. It was Diablo that was pushing forward. He's on the hunt, trying to find Robbie. Robbie is, however, behind him. He's gone completely past him. Not too sure if he realises it. He's not covered. I was going to say that's going to be an easy frag for Robbie. I'm not too sure what Diablo was doing there. But Duffer's there, so is Revolts. Trying to even things up. Duffer does down Fantasy, and it's 6-3. And Reason really need to pick up every single round of the half now.
They do. 3 left, and Reason will want more. But I like the attacking side on Crossfire. I would like an 8-4 if I were anyone. And well, Reason have got 3 of the 4 that I think will give them enough of a footing to make their attack. And if they can go well, oh, Jermaine didn't die to that shot from Socklon there. Only you know. Yes. Robbie is in a very aggressive position. Certainly going to find the eyes of someone in a second. Spies one and gets the groin frag. A bullet to the groin doesn't kill these days, as light as lives. And, well, make his way through. Rob now looks across towards the bottom of the stairwell. There's no one there as Raz gets himself picked off by Diablo. Diablo's been quiet, but he finds his voice, and he finds it big. That's 3 frags for Diablo. He's got Jermaine of Fantasy left, and he can smell Dignitas blood as he makes his way across. Where is Jermaine? Socklon gets himself the frag on the Fantasy. Jermaine's the one shooting back at Diablo, but they're swarming like vultures on the former TCM star. They will hunt him down as they all look for the man. Let's switch over to him. There he is. 2 men flying across. Diablo gets his 4th frag of the round, and and Reason have got 4 rounds now, and you know what? I think that's enough.
No. No, not in defense. It's got to be 6-6. The attacking side tends to be the easiest these days. I just think so. But I don't know. Who knows? We will find out. That's for sure. And at the moment, Reason Diablo trying to do exactly what he did. This time, Dignitas slowed things down. One thing they have certainly brought to the good team these days, they are completely capable of slowing the game down. And that's exactly how they won Strike. They just slowed it down so much so that actually 2 rounds they timed out and didn't plant the bomb. They slowed the things down too much. But that tells you that was the days of who was it in Dignitas before?
Oh, Sko.
Sko, that's it. Slowed things down so much that they ran out of time. 7-4 though. Dignitas taking that round quite quickly.
Here we go. Gray grenade landed from Revolts, aka TD. As they have Fantasy to level the ball up with Diablo getting himself the frag onto Jermaine. Lighters follows up as Fantasy now is on the prowl looking for love. Doesn't get it, and There's only Rob left up in this round. It looks like it'll be 7-5 at the half unless Rob can deliver himself 4 frags. He's got himself the first, in fact, for his trouble. As he makes his way through, Duffer finishes off. And the halftime score is going to be 7-5. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crossfire Intel Challenge 7. Live from the Wizard Gaming Center here in Enschede, brought to you in association with Intel. Supported by Blockbuster and PCs provided by the great guys over at DreamHack, the biggest land in the world. We're ready to rock and roll. 7-5 the score at halftime. And that is Nade-tastic. Lightus with 2, Soklom with 1. Dignitas down 3 men. They lose their 4th straight afterwards as it's now left to Fantasy to make magic. He's got 2 frags though. He needs 2 more. And he is trying to push forward and just stop any ideas. He's got 1 behind and 1 in front. And to be fair to Fantasy, he's taken his wee time about it. They have to plant a bomb. He has to be happy. And they will now go to plant the bomb. Fantasy's probably waited enough, unless he thinks he can hear. All eyes on the, again, a former TCM player. Now Fantasy's making his move. Diablo with that bomb is going to run that clock down quite substantially. And should Fantasy frag Diablo, Lightus would be screwed. Because the bomb won't go down and Diablo can then just run. And then Fantasy can just run. So the clock's important here. Fantasy has taken the bait this time. Diablo is going to get that bomb planted, you feel. Here he goes. Makes his way out. Can spy him, but can't frag him. Now he's given his position away. Caught out on the balcony and isn't going to make it out of there alive. Surely. Yeah, Fantasy almost good. In the end, rubbish. 6-7.
Well, he did what he needed to do, but just didn't execute it at the end.
It was great in his head.
It was good in his head. So here we go, watching the grenades. We saw a 4-man grenade actually earlier on from Mize. That was quite impressive against Fnatic on backlot. And then Fnatic had the cheek to say, if you ain't got the nades, you can't play. And then, you know, Robbins pulled off a perfect ace, just nailing the whole team, one after the other. At the moment though, Raz in and around A. He's going to get company in a moment. It's just picking around.
D-Man, who's going to win the event? 1 word answer.
Well, first I had
One
Fnatic,
word answer.
but I'm thinking Power Gaming.
Okay, 2 words is allowed on that one.
My initial predictions, which you can see on the net, I said Fnatic, Reason, Dignitas, which now cannot happen because I didn't realize they're playing each other in the first playoff stage. But Power Gaming are looking fantastic at the moment. Granted, it was close against Pentagram, but I still think they're in there with a good chance. Didn't realize Toxier and Froster in there with the good team, good players of Isuba. At the moment, Reason slowing things down, and they have every right to because they're looking at an 8-6. Diablo last man standing, takes down Raz, comes around the side. Fantasy is ready and waiting. They know he's going round to A. Diablo drops Robbie's as well. It's a 2-on-1. Diablo's going to have to go 4-man here. He gets the A plant in. It's one of those ones we don't see very often. It's a difficult position to defend, and it's a difficult position to get to. It's exactly why we don't see it often. Fantasy, Jermaine coming around the side. Fantasy shuts him down. That's going to be the round for Dignitas. 8-6 the score. Dignitas looking healthy for the lead and may well take... Oh, here we go. Timeout called out by Dignitas.
Now, what are they going to do?
It's
not a PC issue. I can live without that. They do put the headsets back on. I think it might be a short timeout.
I think it's a tactical one.
Too many smiles on that face for it to be anything too serious.
Well, should we go to a second map? The second map... Oh, Soz, he says.
Third map.
A third map. Should we go to a third map? The third map will be Crash. Which is... Well, there could be as random as you get it. If we get there, though, and it is a big, big if so far for Reason Gaming.
Here we go. Nade from Diablo goes in. Reason's nades have been very good. on their offense. Duffer is down by a Raz. Diablo gets himself the frag onto Jermaine. Now Fantasy gets himself a frag back.
Fast plan.
They've got 3 man after plant versus 3, in fact. As Rob is going to go looking for his opposite number, but in fact it's Lighters that gets the better of him as Reason try to make this one work for them. Fantasy pokes his head around the corner. Lighters gets himself another frag, and now it's all on Fantasy. 1 versus 3 with no health. And Soklon is going to finish off the job. 8-7 the score, and this is enough for Reason to start finding their voices sooner rather than later.
It certainly is. If they get that draw and then even just edge one ahead, it's game on. Hello, we've got pizzas. I had Snickers. I had Snickers, you have pizzas. That's not quite the fairness I was thinking there.
Looks like dignitas are going to lose this round as well. Poor start for them.
It's a very poor start. Robbie, though, trying his best to even things up. Peeking round, straight open on street, where Soklon used to just stand there in his early days. Stand on street. Robbie not going to choose to go that way. Robbie has been very good, like I say, so far. I'm not too sure if he's found his feet on the defensive side. He stares at that bomb site, so we'll switch across. Soklon, on the other hand, is just around the corner. Smoke goes down. Expect bomb plant to possibly go in, which is why Enrio's wall banging away. It is in there. Nice plant. 5 on 3. Now dignitas really have to make a move, and Reason are surely going to close this round out. It is a 5-man defense. It's perfect setup, really. And Rio taking shots the moment he goes around in towards that. They know exactly they're coming through melon room door. Duffer ready and waiting with that deagle. Fantasy, though, manages to make his way in. Diablo goes down. Fantasy rushing through. Soklon there to close him out. Last man standing is Robbie. He's got a long way to go. He gets 2 frags onto Lighters and Duffers, though. It is Soklon just leaping across to the left-hand side. Robbie knows exactly where he is. He needs to be careful. He's going to give chase. Going to hop up. He's going to run the timeout. He's not going to get the defuse. They're running and hiding. And rightfully so, but no. Revolt says, I want a frag at the end. It's 8-8, and you know what? I think their voices suddenly might find themselves.
Nope.
Nope. That was the nope.
But you'd think so.
Not a cheer there, was it? Not even a cheer.
No, they've got a very subdued group behind them as well. And all in all, it's looking a little bit, they still look like they're in a morgue, but they are picking this one up. 8-8 the score. And dignitas know that, from what I said in the first half, I didn't think that was enough for dignitas, and I thought it was ample for Reason to play with. And Rio gets himself a frag. Onto Diablo. Raz is looking around, gets himself dropped by Duffer. Raz is down. And so we are 4 versus 4. Robbie gets himself one back as Soklon is out for the count. And suddenly things are looking a touch difficult for the Reason side. As, in fact, no, sorry, Rio's down and Duffer's got a hat-trick of frags.
Explosives planted.
Is going to be backed up by a bomb plant from Revolts. Got no idea that there's a man down beneath him, Duffer, but he does now because he's fragged him. Robbie gets it and pulls us back to a 2 versus 2, but only 27 seconds left on the plant. Pokes his head around the corner. There's nobody there. Lighters is going to be sat all the way back at the car. Sees the smoke go off. Revolts is in there as well. Robbie is going to have to go for the defuse sooner rather than later. Shots coming in as Lighters gets himself the frag onto Jermaine. And Robbie's gone, and for the first time in this map, we have ourselves a leader in Reason Gaming.
Well, there was a shout, and it's Wannabe. Reason's #1 fan.
I'm his #1 fan. I'm his only fan.
Well, the nade's going out, nobody going down. Raz has been losing out for a few times here to Duffer. Duffer's actually starting to pick up. He bottom fragged for a while on the defensive side, and then they switched attacking, and he raged through Fnatic. Not Fnatic, it was Infused on this map. He was on 1 for ages. the moment, it's doing all right. Looking at the fragging, you can see Robbie leading the charge. Diablo just behind. Lighters takes down Jermaine. Grenade going out. Late grenade there from Robbie. Didn't take anyone down, though. Didn't even tag anyone. Didn't get near them. Robbie tries to line up a frag. Duffer finds one onto Raz. Raz in trouble again. Over on that A complex entrance. Robbie finds himself a frag. Does Fantasy. Bomb loose now. It's 3-on-3. Cyclone worked his way in. Tries to draw the shots. Manages to find some. I think it's just a wall banging note from Enrio, I believe. Yes, it is. Trying his best to tag them down. Cyclone finds Robbie. That's going to open up the way to try and plant that bomb. Lighters found Fantasy. This is going to be another reason round. Could well be going to 10-8 and Rio with it all to do on a 3-mana. Diablo shuts him down. 10-8 the score. Reason now surely going to be taking confidence from this in the attack. It is a very good defense from Dignitas, but unfortunately, Reason's attack is better.
Yeah, it is, and we're in a really, really good position for Reason as they home in on this map. Diablo is going to rush down the middle here. He's going to find someone, surely. He's got one to his left, and he finds Jermaine as Diablo's rush. Bore no fruit. Fantasy's double grenade does. And there's just Jermaine that's gone down on the other side. Lighters and Duffer, the last two standing. And Rio did take a little bit of damage, but is still fine. And Big D, Duffer, is on the prowl. These days in the COD community, you never know who Big D is. Is it D-Man? Is it Dallo? Is it Duffer?
It's my dad.
Is it Diablo? Is it D-Man's dad? Well, the Irish Big D is dead. And it's 10-9. This one looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Dignitas not willing to give this one up just yet.
No, and the noise still coming from Dignitas. They're cheering themselves on. Reason still not a peep out of them. Concentrating, focus, I don't know. I can't believe Diablo would be focusing. Not when he's raging like this, surely. Robbie, though, opens up the frags. Lighters lands a grenade onto Raz. That's going to open up the right-hand side for Duffer to sneak through. Fantasy tossing out another one of those nades. They're not going to fall for it this time. They've backed away. Picked up the double nade last time. Had to try and repeat the trick. Not going to happen. 4-on-4. Duffer is up in top A. I thought Raz going down. Oh, he's going to find one just to the right-hand side. Oh, no, he missed him. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, dear. Oh, Duffer. Lighters does find Jermaine, though. It is Robbie with the AK. Tagging up Revolts. Didn't manage to finish him off. Cyclone's peeking. He's actually looking for Robbie. Robbie, however, is elsewhere. Lighters catching a glimpse of someone in A alley. He's going to go looking for that frag. It is Fantasy that's around the back there. Didn't tag him at all there, though. Fantasy does go down to Duffer, though. And this is Reason. Oh, the smoke goes down. The bomb plant going in. Rio, is he going to wallbang? No, he's not. He's looking. He's too busy. It is Duffer distracted him, and it was enough for Lighters to take him down 11-9. Surely, as they rub their hands, they are quietly confident they can take this map.
Yeah, 11-9 is a great score for Reason. They're homing in on what could be a famous comeback here. But you didn't think that Dignitas versus Reason was going to go without a hitch, did you? You didn't think it was going to be that easy.
Cool.
As we have 2 down for Dignitas. But only one down for Reason.
That was Duffer.
As Duffer finds his voice before Jermaine frags him. And we're at 11-9 and 3-on-1. Jermaine, the last man standing, is still going and still fragging. He is going to get dropped as he pushed out. And Reason are vocal. And Dignitas are plummeting.
Duffer top fragging at the moment.
Last map will be Crash if needed. Looks like it will be.
May well be. And that could be anyone's. I couldn't call it against the Crash between these two teams. It can be so random at times at the moment. Reason surely going to be taking. Oh, that's coming back your way, Rio. Best and force the run. Diablo ready and waiting. Seeing the grenade coming back in his face. Robbie and Raz remaining. Grenade goes into the bomb site. Robbie trying to pick up any last remains. He does take down Cyclone. Bomb plant went in, though. It was Revolts that managed to land it. Raz being tagged. Robbie being tagged. It is Revolts and Lighters, the remaining two. For Reason. Smoke goes in. It's not over yet. Robbie, the last man standing. This is to take it to Crash. Reason Gaming having an awesome, awesome defensive round, it has to be said. Attacking round, sorry. I hope this isn't your best map, says Dignitas. The baiting carries on. It's 13-9, and Tospot's going to have to go and host a poker tournament. But it is going to be going to a third map. It will be Crash. It will be Dignitas versus